Hi, my name is Dominique Ritvo. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Equus Genetics. Equus Genetics is a bioinformatics company focused on performance horse analysis. Now, before I get into what any of that means, I just want to say a big thank you to the Horse Tech Conference team. We're so excited to be involved in a conference that's focused on the future of horse care, horse racing, and the horse industry. We truly believe that technology is the way forward to ensure that horses are being cared for in the best way possible, while also keeping our sports involving horses entertaining and safe. So our company is a bioinformatics company. So what does bioinformatics really mean? Bioinformatics is the collection and studying of large data like a genetic code. Now, we do this through genetic analysis and microbiome analysis, and I'm really excited to talk to you about these services that we're offering today. Allow me to introduce who we are at Equus Genetics. Our team is comprised of scientists and equine professionals who want to make the equine industry better for horses and owners. I was lucky enough to grow up in the horse racing industry with both of my parents as trainers. My mom, Kathy Ritvo, was the first woman to ever win the Breeders' Cup Classic back in 2013 with Mucho Macho Man. What's always been equally as impressive to me as any wins that my mom's had on the racetrack has been the way that she's cared for horses back at the stable. I have personally seen the attention to detail necessary to take a horse to the highest level of racing. I've had the great opportunity to see all different types of care, nutrition, and training methods for all different types of horses. I think it's important to give you this introduction to myself because at the heart of what we do is working for trainers and owners in the business. While science is very important to us and also at the heart of what we do, we always keep in mind that these results need to be actionable and that people need to be able to look at a report and take information from that can help them make the best decisions for their horses. We're consistently working with owners, trainers, and other clients to figure out what is the best way for you to get results from genetic and microbiome analysis. A key member of our team is our scientific director, Dr. Adam Kuvadia, who is a nationally certified genomic scientist with 20 years of clinical genetics experience in the human world. The field of human genetics is quite strict, and Dr. Kuvadia brings that same rigor to Equus Genetics. Now, I'm excited to talk to you about our services. First, about genetic analysis. Now, off the bat, I want to be transparent that genetic analysis is not a crystal ball. Genetics alone will not tell you who the next Kentucky Derby or Saudi Cup winner is. However, when genetics is used in combination with other processes, it can significantly improve the way you manage your stable. So how does genetics analysis work? The first step is to collect a sample that contains genetic material. What we do is ask you to collect your horse's hair. It's a really simple collection that anyone can do. We get genetic material from the root of the horse's hair. After the DNA is extracted from your horse's sample, it's processed in our lab, and we develop reports based off your horse's genetic code. When developing our reports, we've considered research from all around the world, including the best universities and scientists who have done research on the equine genome for years. We collect and analyze this research to provide you with reports that are accurate and helpful in the way that you care for and breed your horses. We have 4 main performance tests that are categorized by breed. We offer a test for thoroughbred performance analysis, Arabian performance analysis, standardbred or trotter performance analysis, and quarter horse performance analysis. As more research is done externally and internally, we hope to continue to build out our testing to include other breeds for performance-specific markers. In the meantime, we do offer genetic testing for all breeds, but we cannot guarantee performance markers for your breed aside from the breeds that I've previously mentioned. So I'll go over a few key features of what's included in the report. It's important to mention that from the time your horse is born and you can collect a hair sample, you can get a genetic report. Why is this important? Because a lot of factors that we report on give you potential of your horse. We can tell you size predictions, how tall your horse will likely be, what kind of horse they'll be regarding if they like short distance, long distance, if they're the type of horse that typically fills out early or is more long and lanky until they're more mature. You can learn these factors when the horse is very young and make decisions for your stable management at that time. So you don't have to wait anymore until that horse is a yearling or 2 years old and in training. You can make informed decisions in a much earlier timeline. So I've mentioned some of the things we report on already. We can report on if your horse has a certain race distance that they would prefer to run, meaning if that horse is more prone to being a sprinter, or if they're more prone to long distance or middle distance racing. We can also tell you certain health factors that can affect your horse's performance. One particular marker that's related to both health and performance that I always like to mention is a marker for recurrent laryngeal neuropathy, or RLN. This is a condition that affects many racehorses and has strong ties to genetic markers, meaning if your horse has certain genetic markers or their parents had those markers, they're significantly more likely to develop RLN, which is really not treatable except by surgical intervention. For standardbred and trotters, we have certain markers that can help determine whether the horse will be a trotter or a pacer. There's also been great repeated studies about standardbred and trotter predisposition to certain cartilage development issues, which we report on as well. There are also similar and specific performance markers both for Arabians and quarter horses that you can view on our website. So what can you do with these reports to actually help you in managing your stable? We get this question a lot, and it's a fair question. This isn't the same thing as 23andMe or genetic testing on your dogs. Those genetic testing are typically done for interest and curiosity, but here we're doing genetic testing to help you change something in the way that you manage your stable. Some of the markers have an obvious way to change the way that you train. For example, if we find that your horse likes to race at sprinting distances from a genetic point of view, and you've been racing them at longer distances, you can try training and racing at shorter distances to see if you get better results. But beyond a marker by marker or trait by trait basis, we think that genetic testing has much broader implications for stable management. To understand what we mean, think back to the last time you purchased or were going to purchase a horse. What were the steps that you took? Did you ask for x-rays? Did you ask for a scope? Did you observe the horse working or in a claiming race? Did you review that horse's pedigree? If you did these things, you should strongly consider genetic testing as another factor for finding out if a certain horse will fit within your stable. We offer comparison analysis that will help you put your horses side by side from a genetics point of view. We compare your horses with easy-to-read graphs that show you how they stack up against one another. A service that we're really excited about is our championship comparison. You can take a horse that has done excellent work for you, whether that be in graded stakes or in breeding, and you can compare that horse's genetic profile to all of your other horses' genetic profiles. We find this tool to be particularly helpful when you're looking to have a leaner stable. If you have 50 horses and you're looking to get back down to 30 horses or 40 horses, but you don't know who to sell or there are some close calls, genetic testing can help you make important decisions by considering factors of the future. For instance, if two horses appear somewhat equal but have different genetic reports, you can choose between those horses based on if you want one to go on to have a breeding career. If you do breed horses, we also offer a breeding comparison. If you have a stallion and a mare that you're interested in pairing up, we can tell you how genetically compatible they are and the percentage of different types of foals that you may have. I think this is particularly important for mare owners. In the United States, we have a live cover requirement. That means that there's no in vitro fertilization allowed or other reproductive technology, meaning you can't have your mare produce multiple foals through surrogacy or other reproductive technology. To make the most effective breeding decision on your mare's limited time to have a foal, you can use genetic testing to make sure that she is compatible with the stallion that she's being paired with. What's really exciting to us is that these are just some of the ways that you can use genetic analysis to change the way you care, breed, and train your horses. We think that there are going to be continued and developing uses to use this throughout your horse's career. There's one last thing I want to mention related to genetic testing with Equus Genetics. We offer a really cool service called the Discovery Program. Our scientific director had a great idea based on the fact that genetics is always evolving and we're constantly learning about new markers that might help you train and manage your horses. Our Discovery Program is a one-time payment for either a year service or 2 years, in which we take your horse's sample and will compare it against all new research that comes out after your initial report. So this means you'll get your initial report, and then for the following year or 2 years, we will continue to update you if there are new markers that you need to know about. We think that this is a great opportunity for people who are really invested in the future of technology and horse racing, because there's no doubt that more researchers and more scientists are working on developing markers that will help improve the understanding of thoroughbred analysis. For example, a current trend in equine genomics research is to research how a horse's genetic code can affect their cardiovascular health. This obviously could have huge implications on how we breed and train thoroughbred horses. While we love talking about horse performance, I will never talk about horse performance without talking about horse health as well. Horse health needs to be a key part of any performance analysis that anybody is doing when we're talking about horse racing or other horse performance sports. We truly believe that horse health is not only good for keeping happy horses, for keeping healthy horses, but horse health focus is also good for performance factors. A healthy horse runs better than an unhealthy horse. A healthy horse has the opportunity to meet its full potential. Horse health cannot be ignored when talking about performance analysis. The final thing that I get to talk to you about today is our microbiome analysis. A microbiome is the comprised genetic makeup of thousands of microorganisms on an area on your body or your horse's body. We test your horse's hind gut microbiome. That means that we're looking at the genetic makeup of the thousands of microorganisms that make up your horse's gut health. Microbiomes residing in the gut impact equine health and performance. We're excited to be at the forefront of commercial testing for horse microbiome. So why is testing a horse's microbiome relevant for performance horse owners? Well, with microbiome reporting, you can detect and identify actionable conditions in your horse. These could include any nutritional deficiencies, microbial imbalances, unsuspecting or atypical infections, and antibiotic-resistant microbes. We compare your horse's microbiome results with that of other horses in our database. Just like in genetics, all the time, new and interesting studies are coming out about how the microbiome affects horses, especially performance horses. While this is a fairly new area of research and study, we're excited that we can be offering a service to people to help get a better understanding of how their horse's hindgut is working with their food and their environment. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation today. We would love to hear from you. So be sure to email or contact us by telephone at the email and number listed here. You can also visit our website and have a look around. It's equusgenetics.com. We would love to hear any feedback that you have on this presentation, our services offered, suggestions for future services, or just questions you have about what we're doing. Thank you again to the Horse Tech Conference. We're so happy to be here and have the opportunity to be in front of many horse owners and trainers who are interested in technological development in the equine industry. Thank you very much.